the third myth, which is the myth of the Hobbit. I just asked for a meme to be made for this today. It's a beautiful picture of Tolkien's Hobbit, and he's down in the depths of the mountain because all of these things occur in the deep unconscious. You know, Perseus had to go down into the cave of the Medusa and the Gorgon, and Bilbo Baggins had to go down into the cave of Khazad-dûm, where Smaug was lying on this great mountain of gold. Because in order to attain to the gold, which is possible in your life, in order to attain to your inner talents and meaning and significance, in order to access the richness which can come into your life, you need to have a method of removing the dragon of fear from within, from the deep unconscious, to allow a renewal, a recapitulation of your life, which will evolve you past, far past the levels you've ever dreamed possible. To release the gold, to release the physical abundance of gold, you need to have a technique which can remove that fear. The fear of taking a step forwards in your life. The fear of reaching out to get hold of the gold. Hold on to the gold. Reach for the gold. Strive for the gold. Nintendo surgimus. We rise by striving. We need to do something if we are to remove that pain and fear in our lives, to release the gold. By releasing the pain and the fear in our lives, by transmuting the pain and fear in our lives, we also transmute something which is called karma. We also release karma. And karma says if you do something bad in one lifetime, in the next lifetime, something bad will happen to you. I think it was Newton that said that everything is equal and opposite. If you do something, you will get something equal and opposite coming towards it to cancel it out. It's called the law of karma. You do something bad, what goes around comes around, not necessarily in this lifetime, but it's going to happen to you eventually. And the more evolved you are, the more you know that when you do something, the more evolved, the quicker it comes back to you. The more evil you are, the slower it comes back to you. But karma is an immutable spiritual law which cannot be undone. By releasing the pain and the trauma from all the memories in this lifetime, you remove the karma, you remove the laws of karma. If you've done something and you have shame because you've done something, then you deserve what comes back to you. But if you dissolve that pain, if you dissolve that fear, if you dissolve that shame, there's no need for that karma to come back to you. And it says in the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, karma can be transmuted. It's one of the laws of meditation. But how to do it? This is the thing. It says this is possible. It says the removal of pain and fear is possible from every memory. It says karma can be transmuted. It says things can change for you. You can do something which is going to change your life to attain to the gold. Get the gold. That's what you need. Get the gold. Transmute your karma. Because if you do not transmute the karma by means of meditation, if you do not learn the ancient techniques to transmute pain and fear and karma, then you are going to have to learn by means of the bad luck and trouble. I think it says in the blues songs, bad luck and trouble are my only friend. I was down before I was 10, born under a bad sign. I was down before I could walk. If I didn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have no luck at all. This is karma. If you can't get rid of that pain and fear within, in the unconscious, in the deep bowels of Mount Orodruin, if you cannot get rid of Smaug the dragon, if you can't cut off the head of Medusa, deep down in the bowels of the earth, then you are going to have to follow the normal laws of karma. And the ancient myth about karma is in alchemy, where it says, how do you purify impure gold? Well, he says you take the gold and you put it in the fire and you heat it up to 1,300 degrees centigrade, and you take the gold out and you put it on the anvil, and then you take a bloody big hammer and you beat the crap out of it. And that is normal karma. This is the normal lot of humanity. Because if you don't know how to transmute the pain, the fear, the shame, then bad luck and trouble are going to be your lot. And you're going to have that crap beaten out of you, because eventually that gold has got to shine. Sudacharan Ponpol said Thiruvalava, the ancient sage of South India, the Tamil Siddhas, the alchemists, who said, the more you heat it, the more it shines. And what that means is, the more you heat up the gold, the more pure it becomes, and the more it shines. And what he's talking about is the aura, the radiance of one who has transmuted his negativity, who has been down into the depths of the soul, and who has transmuted the dragon of fear. All sorts of techniques to do this, but the higher techniques are the fastest. The higher techniques are the fastest. I was having this student, and her name was Amara Atma, and she was doing this yoga course with us. And she was doing this yoga course with us, and she was having difficulty with her bum. And she said, oh, don't talk to me about a bum, please. It's my sacral region. Oh, okay. It's your bum. She was having problems with it because it had a great big energy blockage in it, and she couldn't do anything with it. And the more she was doing the forward bend, the more it was paining her. She had a great big pain in the bum, and it was an energy blockage. And you know what she did? Well, I'll let her tell it. Here you are, Amara Atma. Tell us what you're doing, Amara. What happened this morning?
I've been doing the 7-step process on my sacrum area, the back of the sacrum area, which has been causing me a lot of problems. And I had an injury last summer, which may have been accumulation of blockages. But what happened is that I couldn't move, so I had to lay on the floor for about 2 weeks just to heal it, because any bending, any lifting was very, very painful. That was last summer. But since then, there's been a slight remainder of that pain and the blockage. So when I bent at a little angle, it used to be very painful. So whenever dealing with very big blockages or blockages which kind of immobilize you, as recommended by Sachi, if you time slam something for a significant amount of time, like you can, at least an hour, but the best is 2, maybe more, depending on your availability. By doing this, this kind of intense focus of spiritual energy onto the blockage in the 7-step process, you begin to shine the light of the soul onto this area, and then you weaken this blockage, and then this blockage becomes a little bit more clearer to you, a little bit less painful, and it begins to integrate back into the soul. So you begin to transmute it, as Sachi was explaining earlier. So I've been going through this process currently here at the ashram, and I'm at the stage where this morning I woke up, and I alternate my days at the moment because I'm learning yoga here, and I'm also obviously just absorbing good energies as well, and becoming a better person, or more soul-infused person, that is. And so this morning, it's a yoga day today. It's a yoga morning. I alternate. Usually I meditate or yoga. And so intuitively something told me to just meditate. You need to fill up with the energy of the soul, because the more energy you have, the more ability I find personally from experience and through knowledge as well, that you see things better, and everything just works better when you're grounding and you're focusing and just your everyday life. So I meditated for a short while, and then once I started to feel and consciously connect with the energy, with the soul, and align myself with the energies of the infinite above and the center of the earth, this started to this inspired me, because that's what happens when you're aligned with your soul. You become inspired by the intuition to then do what's next, because I didn't plan any of this. So I just went in to do pranayama, and then when I did pranayama, I couldn't do pranayama, so I realized, okay, I think I need to do a bit of the yoga postures. So I just went to do one of the yoga postures which challenged me the most, which is the double leg posture, which is Paschimottanasana, and the Janusya asana, so single leg and double leg stretches. After I did this, I sat up in meditation, because I just felt the energy was clear, and then I started to absorb more energy from the soul. I was finding that it was easy to sit still, and it was easy to feel the energy coming through. And then from this I felt guided to then do some pranayama, and as I did the pranayama, my 2 nostrils were open. Usually my nostrils, one or the other, is closed and usually running, just blocked. And so both of my nostrils were clear, which generally when you're in the yogic terms, it's a sattvic kind of state, because your left and your right are quite balanced. And I did this quite clearly, and then after that I just felt more inspired to sit still again, to sit in the state of samadhi, where the energy is flowing through. And the stillness was so profound and so beautiful, and I felt I could go quite high, in the sense of the more clarity. And I just felt this wisdom, or this word, or this feeling, or this knowing come through, that God is everything. And it was a very peaceful thing, knowing that this energy of expansiveness is also translating itself through every single human being, and it's trying to penetrate all the details of the universe and the details of a human experience. And we're striving, and we're trying to actively to seek and find God in everything that we do. And I think this is what Sachi was saying, where you're striving to do that. And I think this is what I understood in the morning, that we're trying to find and connect and infuse God in everything that we do, and that's spiritually, mentally, emotionally. And so it was quite a nice, profound, meaningful thing, which then I know it's changed the way I see everything going forward. So I just thought that experience would be good to share. And then after that brief meditation, I went to do a couple of more postures, and I found that I was choosing the postures which were the most difficult for me. Most difficult because I had that problem in the sacrum, and just generally because it's probably blockages in that area. So I went on to do the camel pose, and usually the camera poles, I can't stay in there very long because of the pressure and stuff. But this time, I was able to go very quietly and there's nothing in my mind as well, very stilly into that pose 3 times, and I found that I could go deeper, and I could even push myself a little bit more. And when I came out of it again, I felt in a state of meditative state of quietness, of samadhi, and I was able to sit there for a while. So yes, I think the combination of 7-stepping, time slamming, blockages, it's very resourceful. It's very important because it just helps with the alignment process, and also doing yoga poses as well helps you find blockages.
So, what I was trying to say in this short segment from Amara Atma was that the higher the techniques, the faster the progress. And they say that in the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, yoga has 8 limbs. It's like a ladder that goes from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to the highest rung. And we start off with things like asana, and we move through pranayama, we move into meditation, and then we move into something which we call samyama. As we do that, we speed up the removal of blockages within the system because everything works. All these techniques work. But if you use something like asana, it can take 100 years to do something that takes a second in samyama. So we're talking about techniques and the speed that the technique gives you. And my action in this afternoon is to say to you that these myths tell you what you need to do in order to access your psychic powers, your psychic gold, the ability to do that which you need to do in your life, to attain to your potential, to transfigurate the seed into the tree, to become that which you were born to be. And when we're talking about Smog and the dragon, and we're talking about the one ring, the one ring is that thing that the devil offers to you and says, my boy, I'm going to give you all the gold, I'm going to give you all the women, I'm going to give you all the Rolls Royces, I'm going to give you all the palaces, I'm going to give you all the princesses. All you got to do is to take the ring. There you go. Just take it. Take the ring.
So, Sachi, you were saying that. So you said samyama, and so maybe you could expand a bit more on samyama, and in relation to what you were talking about transmuting the dragon. So how does samyama come into that?
Okay, I'm going to get into that because what am I here for today except to explain the techniques to people. The first formula of alchemy, because what we've been talking about with the Medusa, with Andromeda, and with the dragon Smog and the gold, is alchemy. Alchemy is the methodology of transmuting base metal into gold, of transmuting energy blockages, pain, trauma, and fear into gold. And for thousands of years, kings have been searching for the means of transmuting base metal into gold. For thousands of years. And yet, the first formula of alchemy is called vitriol. Vitriol is a bottom-up solution to the problem of pain and fear. Samyama and the 7-step process is a top-down solution to the problem of fear. And both of them work. And all of them work quickly. But what works more quickly is samyama. But first, let me go into a little bit about alchemical vitriol. Vitriol is a Latin acronym which gives you some idea of the age of the first formula of alchemy for transmuting pain and fear into spiritual gold, into releasing your potential. And the acronym goes Visita, that's the V of vitriol. Interiori, that's the I of vitriol. Terrai, that is the T of vitriol. Rectificando, that's the transmutation, to rectify, is the R of vitriol. Occultem lapidem, O and L of vitriol. The occultum lapidem is the hidden stone, or the philosopher's stone. It is in fact the secret of the philosopher's stone. Now, if you like, you can use asana to ease out your body. If you like, you can recapitulate your life and write thousands and thousands of words about every one of your experiences in this lifetime to release the fear.